ọmọ tó sẹ́ẹ̀tì.
Good afternoon, everybody. We'll be starting the Career Expo. We'll be beginning shortly. All right, good afternoon, guys. Please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please just unmute and let me know that you can hear me.
Yeah, I think I can hear you now.
Yes, I can hear
All
you.
right.
I can
All
hear
right.
you. Yes.
So good afternoon, guys. Please, if your mic. The first career expo for the Faculty of Science, and we are having the theme Future Proofing Your Career and Navigating Emerging Industries. Now, the whole essence of the Career Expo was to teach students or just show students how life would be after school. We all know after the four walls of the university, there's a whole new world outside, and we need to have certain ideas of how and what we are going to do when we are leaving the university. Now, if you are here, you might be a fresher, you might be a sophomore, you might be a penultimate, and you might be a finalist, but it doesn't mean that we don't all have something that we want to do after we leave the university. And that is why we saw the essence of having a career expo where we can interact and also learn from people who have left the university years before we even entered, and they can give us hints and insight into how the labor force and the labor workforce is going to be like. So today we have two speakers. We have David Adeyemo and we have lecturer Taiwo Bankole. I'll be introducing them as they are coming forward to speak or before they unmute themselves to speak. But firstly, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the faculty executives. If they are in the meeting, we have Dio Daniels, who is the president of the faculty. We have Olubumi Toluwalashe, who is the general secretary. We have Fei Sharabamigboye. We have Omolale Damilola David. We have Udo Fitz, the PRO. We have the assistant general secretary, and we have Labake, who happens to be the social secretary. If they are here, maybe they will want to say one or two things later. But firstly, I'll be introducing our first speaker, so we can just go right into it. Our first speaker is David Adeyemo Adebowale. He is a highly motivated and results-oriented professional with a strong foundation in molecular biology and a proven track record of success in both academic and professional settings. He is pursuing a Master's of Science in Cellular and Molecular Biology at the University of New Haven in the United States of America, where he serves as the president of the African Graduates Association. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Cell Biology and Genetics from the University of Lagos, where he graduated with first-class honors and previously served as the president of the Cell Biology Students Association. David's professional experience includes roles as a molecular scientist, head of admin services, and embryologist, demonstrating his versatility and adaptability. His experience has equipped him with a versatile set of skills ranging from advanced laboratory techniques such as RT-PCR, nucleic acid extraction, and cell culture to a solid foundation in research, analysis, project management, and scientific writing. In addition to his research and professional endeavors, David is passionate about education and capacity building. He has facilitated several training sessions for the students, including serving as the site coordinator and facilitator for the e-learning program I'm no longer a host admin. It's not even showing. Can I use your phone?
My phone to join.
I didn't even. Okay. I need to. Hello, guys. I'm sorry, my network was acting up, and I had to find an alternative source. Hold on, Susan.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about the lapse. So we are introducing our first topic. Is wherever that is. Mute yourself. Please. Mute yourself so I do not get feedback. Thank you. So we were introducing our first speaker, right? So I will just start from the very beginning. So Mr. Adeyemo David Adibowale is a highly motivated and results-oriented professional with a strong foundation in molecular biology and a proven track record of success in both academic and professional settings. He is pursuing a Master of Science in Cellular and Molecular Biology at the University of New Haven, United States of America, where he serves as the president of the African Graduate Student Association. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Cell Biology and Genetics from the University of Lagos, where he graduated with first class honors and previously served as the president of the Student Association. Please mute yourself. David's professional experience includes roles as a molecular scientist, head of admin services, and embryologist, demonstrating his versatility and adaptability. His experience has equipped him with a versatile set of skills ranging from advanced laboratory techniques such as RT-PCR, nucleic acid extraction, and cell culture to a solid foundation in research, analysis, project management, and scientific writing. In addition to his research and professional endeavors, David is passionate about education and capacity building. He has facilitated several training sessions for students, including serving as the site coordinator, facilitator for the e-learning program in Global Health University of Washington. David is also dedicated to community service, actively contributing as a lead volunteer at Similar Cancer Genetics at Yale New Haven Hospital, where he supports patient care and research. He's a member of professional associations such as the Genetics Society of Nigeria and the Guide of Cellular Molecular Scientists and Practitioners. Driven by a desire to address pressing healthcare challenges, so I think I'm done with David. So Mr. David Adeyemo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you all. And I would like to say a big thank you to the leadership of Ulssa for organizing this event for the students and also having me. So I would like to say it's always like a great, more like inspiration to talk to students about what is happening out there, because if we have the opportunity to hear or have programs like this before we left school, then I feel like we might have been better prepared for what is outside. So I'd like to thank the leadership of Ulssa again for organizing this for you all. And if you find yourself right here listening to this webinar today, I can tell you definitely you will not be living the same, because talking about future-proofing your career and navigating emerging industry, a whole lot is happening out there. And if you're not prepared right from being a student at the level that you are, before you transition into what is happening outside, you might want to feel that shake. So that's just what I'm going to say for now. I graduated from the University of Lagos from the Department of Cell Biology and Genetics, and currently I'm doing my master's program in cellular and molecular biology. And what I'm just going to say before I leave the floor back to Mr. Yadi is that you have to have a passion. You have to have something that motivates you ahead. I can remember something that happened back then. You know, I heard about the story, and it's the story of a man who he was going for an interview, and they ran to the best of his capabilities so he could meet up with the interview. And then he got to the entrance of the interview, and the door was just shut. And they said he had come late for the interview. And then the question the man at the gate asked him was, what happened? Oh, young man, you should have probably maybe run very well. And he told the man, he said he ran. He ran to the best of his capabilities, but he didn't start early. So I'll be elaborating more on that. And I feel like that's just the area I'm going to talk about the most, because you guys are still currently in school and there's a whole lot that you can leverage on before you come outside. Starting early is very, very key. So let me just stop there for now. Thank you. Mr. Yadi, are you there?
Mr. Yadi is not here. He's having network issues, but I'm going to anchor for now. Yeah. My name is Tolu, by the way. So, thank you, Mr. David. Thank you very much for that. We also have here with us Mrs. Bankole Taiwo. Yes, Mrs. Bankole Taiwo. And she's someone that's driven by a desire to address pressing healthcare challenges. Taiwo is currently a doctoral student at the University of Maryland, College Park, USA, investigating the impact of bioactive compounds on metabolic diseases such as obesity and breast cancer. Her research integrates gut microbiome analysis, metabolomics, and epigenetic mechanisms to offer innovative solutions in metabolic health. Outside research, Taiwo loves to read and cook, a nice way to ease the stress. So, Mrs. Taiwo, or Miss Taiwo, I'm not sure which is which, but permits me, if you're on the call. Yes, you are.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. So I'm Taiwo, and I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Maryland, College Park. And I'm currently carrying out research on obesity and breast cancer. So David has actually said most of it. If you want to have a bright future, you have to start now. First of all, I want to say welcome to everyone, to new students or current students or returning students. Welcome to University of Lagos. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of hard work to be here. So in addition to what David has said, I would love to say, if you want to have that great future you always dreamt of, you have to start now. Okay. You want to have that good grades. In addition to having those good grades, you have to get a lot of skills. So where I am currently, yeah, your good grades will only take you to the doorstep. But it really might not sustain you in that job or in that lab work. What most people are looking for right now is, what do you bring to the table? For a PhD student or someone to go into academia or even in the industry, you have to have a lot of skills. So your good grades we only give you more like make you put your best foot forward. Okay, someone who graduated with the 5.0, of course. But in addition to that 5.0, also I have to get the skills because you might submit your West evaluation or your good grades. At the end of the day, the professor, the supervisor wants to take you, is looking for the skills. So as an undergraduate in University of Lagos, in addition to you attending your lectures, reading, and all sort of that, you have to get the skills. Do you want to go into tech? Do you want to learn bioinformatics? Do you want to learn about programming, Python, R, Linux, and whatever? So many people are doing it these days. People are using AI. So yeah, get the skills, get the good grades, of course, and afterwards, you can now want to plan for the future. Yeah, so that's what I have to say. And thank you to the executives for having me. And if I'm allowed to take any questions, of course, I can take questions. Am I allowed to take questions?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, it's fine. So if I'm allowed to take questions, you can just leave your question in the chat box. So yeah, I'll reach out or just reach out to me on social media platform. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, Mr. David Adeyemo, is there any other thing you want to add, or that's it from earlier?
All right, yeah. Thank you very much once again. And I'd like to especially also, let me say, recognize the presence of Mrs. Bankole Taiwo. So you guys might not know, but she was my senior in school, so she's still my senior. So we look up to her all the time. So we're still looking up to her. So it's a great privilege to be here with you, ma. Good morning from here. Yeah. So guys, there's a whole lot, and I feel like we're going to. You can drop as many questions as you want, but like I said, the way I started is about starting early, and you guys have the privilege to still be in school to be able to apply this. So one of the things I've noticed back in school is we don't have a niche back in Nigeria. We don't have a niche where you want to say you're starting from. I can remember going for a conference when I was in 200 level, and no one actually know me then. Like none of my lecturers actually know me. So I was in the conference and I saw a few of my lecturers. I just wanted to say hello to them. And in conference, what happens is they will just give you your name tag. You'll be wearing your name tag and no one knows who is who. So when someone is coming to greet you, you don't know who that person is. You just want to respect every person you see there. Someone was sitting right beside me and we were just chatting. And when they were going to introduce the person, she happens to be the first professor in computer something something. And I was like, wow, that is how conferences are. You get to like make network and a whole lot of things that happens there. So I went back, I saw a few of my lecturers and I went to greet them. Oh, good afternoon, ma. Good morning, sir. This and that. And they were also doing the same thing. Yes, sir, because they didn't know who I was. And I had to now tell them, ma, I'm your student, so I'm in 200 level, this. And they're like, oh, really? They were surprised because they didn't imagine that a 200 level student would register for a conference. And it was not a free conference, it was a paid conference. I paid 15,000 naira for the conference then. But after that conference, something sparked up inside of me. Like I wasn't the same person again after the conference because I get to see that there's a whole lot happening that we are missing out there. So I met a professor there. He's based in plant genetics. So after the session, I went outside to meet with him and I was like, oh, I would like to intern with him. He's based in Switzerland. So said I would like to intern with him. I just right there, he interviewed me. And that's another part. You have to like always be ready at all times. So he interviewed me there, asked a few questions, and that was it. So he asked me, he said, well, what is my interest? It's 200 level student interest. I didn't know what he was talking about. What are my research interests? Like everything. I want to do genetics. I want to do molecular. I want to do IVF. I want to do it. He was like, what is your interest? What are your interests? What are you really interested in doing? What is your research area? I couldn't answer that question. And then he gave me his email. He gave me all of his direct contact details that I should reach out to him later when I'm done thinking about it. So I went back. We started chatting and he was like, oh, he said, even though you're in 200 level, you should have something you're looking at doing when you're done. This is the area you want to focus. And then I started thinking, what do I really want to do? And then he dropped the next email. He said, if I'm ready to take up a role in plant genetics, he's ready to fund my traveling down to Switzerland for internship. Accommodation, transportation, everything was going to be sorted. But what it means is that he doesn't want to sponsor someone who doesn't have a long-term goal in the field, meaning that he might want to proceed with me being his master student when I'm done with my program and maybe PhD as well. He said I should go and think about it very well if that is really what I wanted to do. And I sat down, thought about it, and I rejected the offer because I wasn't going to do plant genetics. That was not like my area. But why am I saying all of this? It's just to let you know that there was a changing of mindset that it did to me then in 200 level. So I started focusing on what I really wanted. So that when you are talking to people, they want to see you that you are not just everywhere. You are certain about your future. What do you want to do? Where are you going to? So that's the first thing. You need to know what you want to do early. So number two, after knowing what you want to do early, is you now need to find people who are good and they've gone way ahead of you in that field, that area. Start to network with them. Start to meet with them. There's something I'm going to tell you. If you have all of the money on this earth, you have millions, you have billions of dollars, there are hands-on skills that you can never buy with money. You can only learn them through apprenticeship. When you stay under these people, they've went through the rigorosity, and some things that they learned for 2 years, something that they learned for 10 years, 20 years, they can easily pass it to you. And one thing about hands-on is that it's way beyond them just talking to you about it. You have to do it. You have to experience it. You have to feel it. So I started looking at what I wanted to do, and then started looking at people who have gone way ahead of me in that field. Started talking to them, started learning from them. Started going to conferences that surround what I want to do very early, meaning from 200 level. So that is how it happens. I can remember meeting with one of our lecturers, then Dr. Parkat. They wanted to have like a molecular workshop. Then I went to meet her. I wanted to join her to learn what they were going to do at the program. I was there with her. I was like a personal assistant, and I was just doing a few things she was doing. And they were training master students on what to do because she had been training me, teaching me how to do a few things. Some of those master students will come and meet me. They'll be like, "Oh, what are we doing next?" She was like, "Don't tell them anything. Just be showing them what you're showing. Don't tell them you're an undergrad." You understand? So it will just happen that way that you would be able to give out, because you can't give out what you don't know. You can't give out what you don't have inside of you. So you need to go through that phase. Another thing I'm going to say to us is gaining network. Some of you at this level of your undergrad, the only thing in our head, I can remember back then in Nigeria, the only thing in our head is we want to go to class and then leave the class. Let me just write the exam and finish. Just as Mrs. Bankole Taiwo said, your good grades will only do one thing for you. They will open the door to opportunities. But once they open the doors to those opportunities, they don't sustain them. What will keep you are your skills, what you've learned over the years. And you don't just want to tell them that, oh, you have this. They can see it in your resume. They can see it in your CV. And what is happening currently in this generation is overhyping. Overhyping. You sit on LinkedIn. What you cannot do, you say you can do it. I don't know. It's really happening out there, and you just get intimidated after seeing so many things, and then those people get to employ you, and they are now saying that, oh, all of those things this person said he can do, he really cannot do them. So there is so much you'll be doing for yourself if you are putting a whole lot into learning. Try to go out. How do you future proof? How do you get to know what is happening? You go out and get yourself exposed in your field, in that area. After knowing your niche, that this is what you want for your life, you start going out, meet people who have gone ahead of you, and let them train you, let them mentor you. There are different types of mentorship. There are some mentors that they will never talk to you directly. You are just following them. You're looking at their footsteps. You're seeing what they are doing, all of their speech that they've given everywhere they've been to. You are watching it. You are seeing their posts on LinkedIn. There's no how some of these people will not notice you, because once they see you repost everything they are doing, you like everything they are doing all the time. And I'll see some students actually say, oh, I want to work in social industry. I want to do this, but they are not accepting people. This is graduates, like you've graduated from school and you want to work in like top industry. You know what job opportunity looks like currently in Nigeria. It's not that easy. So if you want to get opportunities, you have to be very, very strategic. And one of the avenues I usually tell people is start as like from being a student. most of the time, people always think about money, 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 money. You don't give what you don't have. You need to first of all build that foundation before you now say you want to start making that money. End that thing before you start making that money. Look at an example I can give you here. You are a student and you have this big industry you want to work in. You just want to work there. You are not interested yet on what you want to do, but you just know this is where you want to work when you are done. When you are done with school, starting to apply to that place might be very, very difficult, and getting into that place because of interviews and all. So why not walk into the industry, that desired industry of yours? Why not walk into that place, meet with the HR, meet with the director, and then tell them something. Oh, I'm a student. I'm currently in 300 level. I'm currently in 100 level. I'm currently in 200. I'm currently in 400 level. And I've been learning a whole lot in school. They've been teaching us about this, teaching us about that, tailor it to what they are doing in the industry. And then whilst we are looking for a place where you can apply all of these things they've been teaching, where you can see what is happening in the real world, you came across their company and then you checked their profile. You can see they have one of the best staff in the world, and you check them, you see that they are like top-notch professionals, and you just study wise that it's going to do you a pleasure to learn from the wealth of experience that these people have. See, there's nobody that will hear some of these things that they will just let you go like that. You tell them that you just want to be learning from them a few times whenever you are free from school. And then you go there. That is what they call volunteering. You go there and then they just allow you to see the industry, you tour around, you check. Before you know, you're making connections, and they're also training you in the field. They are training you. And when you are done with school, some of these people are the ones in charge of like opportunities, are the one in charge of the job openings. They already know you. They already know what you are capable of doing. A job opening cannot open there and you'll not be the next person they will be employing. Because do you think they'll get a new person and they want to start training the person from the start? No. But most of the time, going through this and then saying you want to be going to one place to go and be applying what you are learning in school is not I'm not sure it's within our scope in Nigeria, but you need to really go far in that to that extent to start looking at where you want to go, and then from now start working towards it. It is very, very important. Start working towards it. So I'm just going to stop there for now and allow Mrs. Taiwo as well to talk to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, David. I just wanted to add, in addition to what David has said, getting the skills doesn't mean you will forsake your grades, okay? If you have the great opportunity to get good grades at first class or a 2-1, then go for it. Okay, don't take the skills and then let your grades suffer. All right, so in addition to getting the skills, get your good grades as well. Thank you so much, David. I don't know. Will someone read the chat from the chat box? How do I?
Okay, there are a couple of questions in the chat box, right? The first question is, how can we manage? By the way, if you have questions, please drop us in the chat box so we can address them. The first question is, how can we manage our time in both academics and learning the skill? I thought we'll be taught the skills. Sorry,
All right. No, you won't be taught the skills. In some instances, most cases, you won't be taught the skills. I know David and I graduated from the same classmates, cell biology and genetics. My from year 1 to year 4. No, we're not taught the skills we are using now. You might just be taught like normal lab works or the basics or the fundamentals, but no, you will not be taught the main skills. Learning the main skills, sometimes maybe during your final year projects, you might be opportune to work in the lab or do some field works that might help you learning the skills, but doing lab hours or doing lab sessions, doing lab sessions in school, no, you won't be taught the skills. I know we had the opportunity to do internship. During my time, it was once a year, but I don't know if they've changed it now to 2 times throughout undergraduate. I don't know. But during my time, it was once in a year. Like once a year, like once in 4 years, you had the opportunity to do internship. So I will employ you guys to like go for industries that's will teach you that main skills you want to advance in. I think I did my internship in Lasuth forensic and pathology department. And am I using that skills now? Yes. What I learned during in that department was to analyze samples from human beings and stuff like that. Yes, I'm still using the skills now, and I can major in that skills if I want to. So, but we're not taught that during undergrad or from first year to final year. We're not taught that. We have to get the skills outside. But I don't know if David has something to add.
Yeah, no, I think basically you've said it all. Getting the skills is personal. They will only teach you the basis. They'll teach you the basis of the things that you need to know. But getting the skills is now you going extra. You would notice some lab session you guys usually have. It's just within the scope of what you have been taught, and there's a vision, there's a syllabus you must complete. But you are now thinking outside the box, going beyond the syllabus to learn the rudiment of why you are doing what you are doing. Now grades are not attached. You just want to be good at it. So basically that's I think I can see more questions. Someone was asking about conferences. How do you get to know about the conference? Someone also asked about internship. How do you get to, I think, let me check again. Yeah. How do you did you observe any internship in school? Yes, I did. And let me just quickly tell us the story about my own internship. I was in 200 level, and then our internship then usually is in 300 level break. Yeah, the 3-month break there in 300 level. Now I think you guys can do internship CWES, they call it CWES, during your IT during 200 level and then 300 level as well. So what happened then was I thought of where I wanted to do it, like knowing exactly what you want. I thought of where I wanted to do my IT, and the only place that could come to my head was the fertility field. I wanted to go into the IVF field, gain the skills required there. And then the next thing was, okay, I was thinking of the best. Where is the best fertility clinic currently in Nigeria, or let's say West Africa or Africa itself? And I searched online and I saw Professor Lado Parashu. Professor Lado Parashu was the first to do IVF in West Africa. I saw it and I saw that he graduated. He was a former lecturer, University of Lagos, Idiaraba. And I started making my moves. I went there. They didn't allow me enter. They didn't allow IT students to come in. And then I started sending emails to people. The story short, I sent an email to a professor because the owner of the clinic, Professor Lada Kwashiru, he was the youngest professor at the age 32 or 31 at that was around 1980 something. That was in 1982 or so. That was when he became the professor. So he was the HOD of the department at the time, anatomy, and he was actually teaching some students then. So one of his best students then in 200 level was Professor Oremosu, who is currently the provost of Idiaba right now. I had to go and meet Professor Oremosu, tell Professor Oremosu that, sir, this is my vision, this is what I want to do. And he interviewed me, I gave him my SOP, he saw everything, and he wrote me a recommendation letter. So I went back to the company, I saw it, and when they saw the recommendation letter, I entered. They allowed me, and directly, that was like the first time I was going to have like a one-on-one with Professor Lada Kwashu, and then we spoke after they've seen it. Story short, I was able to get the opportunity to do my IT there, but it wasn't ordinary. It still boils down to what do you want to do. You can see all of the going about that I had to do. SOP, someone is asking what is SOP, like statement of purpose. Why do you want to do this? Because you might not be able to like sell yourself right on spot. You might have to send like emails or write to professors that, okay, you want to work with them and this is why you want to do what you want to do. This is what is motivating you to do what you want to do. So that is what SOP is. But I had to say that story now because it is now a thing of the past. And when you see how you go through it, some people would say, oh, I wanted to do this, and then they said there's no way there, and they will stop. No, you don't stop. You keep going. How do I get to know that? Oh, all the stories that I'm saying, how do I get to know that he actually taught somebody who was in 200 level, the person too became a professor now? So it's just the way myself and Mrs. Bankole Taiwo we are right now. She was a lecturer in our department. She taught us in our department. So imagine you now want to meet Professor Dr. Taiwo. She'll soon be a professor anyway. So you want to meet Dr. Taiwo, and you want to go through someone who knows already. That someone who can speak of. It's not just about networking now. It's not just about connection now. You want to go through someone who can speak highly of you. That see, this person is very good. This person is very good and can do exactly what you want, and they will allow you there. So in addition to having all of the skills, there are some places that you need a recommendation. And that will bring me again to letting you guys know it happens a whole lot. It happens a whole lot that students just go to class and they are not involved with their lecturers. Your lecturers don't know you. They don't know what you are capable of doing. And then you leave school, and I'm sure a lot of you would want to travel. You want to go do your masters abroad or do programs abroad. One of the key things they usually ask for is recommendation letters. And it will now happen that most students, if they tell them to provide one recommendation letter, they cannot categorically tell you that there's a professor or a lecturer in their department that will be able to write it for them because they've not made that connection. No lecturer knows them. They will find it hard. Some lecturers will have to go check what course did I teach the students that I can write a recommendation letter for you. They will just write something vague. So that's another part I think I didn't touch that I'm going to touch now. You have to also ensure that your lecturer knows you. Let the school also pass through you, meet with them beyond the outside world. So someone was asking about conference. How do you get to know it? I get to know about conferences from my lecturers. You get closer to them, let them know that you are interested in this. Don't forget the niche I'm talking about, the area I'm talking about. You guys have lecturers who are in different fields. They have different things that they are doing, different areas of study. So you want to meet the professor that his area of research is aligned to what you think you want to do in future. So you get to like meet with that person and you're like, oh, sir, what are the conferences that are usually happening? And you also want to do your own research as well on LinkedIn. Trust me, once you're ready, people just follow people anyhow. You follow people anyhow on LinkedIn. Don't just follow people anyhow. Follow people who are in your field, people who are specifically in your field. So the things you get to see on your page would be things specific to your field. So when there's any conference, any opportunity at all happening in your field, you will get to see it. Yeah, so let me stop there for now. I think we still have more questions, but I'll allow Mrs. Taiwo to answer some of these questions too.
Thank you so much, David. Someone was asking, is it possible to obtain a PhD directly from after BSc without masters? Yes. So yes, it's very possible. So I know for the United States, you can go directly from BSc to PhD. I don't know about other countries. Like I know Canada, you must have a master's before you do a PhD. Well, some universities allow you direct entry into PhD, but very few. But for US, yes, you can move directly from BSc to PhD. But what's important, what most of them actually want is still your skills. Yeah. Another thing is in addition to what David said about the conferences, you can also go on social media. I recommend LinkedIn. Follow all those organizations. We have Genetics Society of Nigeria. If you want to major in genetics, you have maybe maths or physics. They have their own associations in Nigeria. So you can follow those organizations, and they always post their conferences on their LinkedIn profile. So you can follow them. The only problem is if it's outside Lagos. That's the only issue I have. I don't think my parents will allow me to travel outside Lagos on my own at that time as an undergraduate. So, but I know Unilag, then we had some associations come to Unilag to host conferences. Yes, you can attend as a student. Yes, you're allowed to attend, pay and attend. If it's maybe somewhere around Lagos, or maybe you have a family friend where the states where the like the host states, like states you are going to hold the conference. Yeah, of course you can attend that conference. Yeah, but yes, you can move from BSc directly to PhD, but you must get skills. Okay, when you are going for NYSC, go on after companies that will teach you skills. Don't go and stay in secondary schools and be teaching young students. Don't do that. Go after companies that will give you the skills. Learn from my experience. What did I even do for NYSC? Oh, I worked at ABU as a secretary, but well, I still gain skills in doing some paperwork. At least I can print and photocopy myself. I can operate a printer. Unilag did not teach me that. I learned it myself. I am very good with printing works now, and I can do that as a PhD student because, of course, I'm a TA, and of course, I have to print out exams, do some paperwork. I learned all that from ABU. But if I'm to go back, then I will go after lab work. But now I don't think I'm in love with lab work. I think I prefer bioinformatics now. Yeah, so I don't know if David has something to say.
Yeah. So I think you've pretty much said most of it. You've said majority of it. Let me just check. Let me go through the questions if there are other parts. Yeah, so the process of going through PhD direct, or like Mr. Cyrus said the other time, it's very, very possible. And sometimes some schools, especially in the United States, they require you to have a professor that would accept you, meaning that you have to sell yourself to a professor first. You get a supervisor, and then the supervisor now gets to recommend you that, okay, go ahead and apply. So part of your recommendation letter that I mentioned the other time, that professor would be one of them, and they will just automatically like accept you since the professor has already interviewed you. And then there are some schools that they don't need you to even go through any supervisor. They go through rotations. You just go through different labs once you get in here for the first year before you now get to choose. But it's very possible to go for PhD directly from your BSc, but the grades are very, very important here, and the skills at the same time. Because that's I work as a graduate assistant here, and I'm also privileged to be part of like the admissions team. So that grades are usually very, very key to open the door. Like I said the other time, once you get inside, the skills now speak for you. So you have the grades, you have the skills. The grades open the door, and then the skills keeps you inside. So that's how it is. Let me see any other question that we
Okay, I
might
think I
have.
can say one. How can we manage our time in both academics and learning the skill? I thought we will be taught the skills. Okay, no, like we said earlier, you won't be taught the skills. You will be taught the basics. And how can you manage your time in both academics and learning? So yeah, you can manage your time. For example, after this semester. So I know after semesters, everyone goes home to have fun and do whatever they want to do. Because at that time you have to start getting your skills, take a course, Udemy, Coursera, or whatever, whatever or company can sell the course. Some of them are free, some of them you have to buy the course. I know in naira rates, I know it's really cheaper compared to dollars. It's very expensive when you come here and then you want to buy a course, and in naira it's really very cheap. House studio is very, very cheap now. So just go and learn how to. Everybody should go and learn how to and Python. It's very important. So like I was saying, so like during after the semester when everyone is on break, you can of course take a course, and yeah, so yes, you can manage both academics and learning skills at the same time. For me, then after school, I was a fashion designer. I was going to fashion school. So yes, I got skills in fashion designing, and I also finished with very good grades. Am I using the fashion designing now? Maybe in bioinformatics, I can combine different colors that you you will fall in love with my colors on my papers. So yeah. David, do you want to go ahead with some
Yeah,
questions?
so someone asked MBBS and botany. You're interested in MBBS. You're currently in botany. So if that is your passion, there's no relationship between botany and MBBS. So I would presume you probably really wanted to study medicine, and then you were given botany, like most students would say, they gave me botany. So you have two things. You have to, first of all, decide what you really want. Do you still have passion for MBBS, or you are now falling in love with botany? However, there's one thing I would tell you. Let excellence be a lifestyle to you. Don't, because of it's medicine I want to study, so I should be doing bad in botany. I would tell you that excellence should be a lifestyle, and the way we get to know that you are fit to study medicine is when you do excellently well in botany. If you are not doing well your first year botany, you are not doing well second year botany, you are not fit to study medicine, regardless of whatever mental issue you might be going through that they didn't give you the course. How we get to know that you can really study medicine is when you do very well in botany. A lot of people, when you ask them you want to be a doctor, they will tell you yes, it takes a whole lot to be a medical doctor. It takes a whole lot, and that's why the rigorosity is like that, because you are dealing with lives. So you cannot afford to just take anybody in. You need to be ready and fit for it. So what I will advise you is, if medicine is really what you want to do, beautiful, you're definitely going to get it. Just keep pushing, but make sure you do very well in botany. And promise me, I don't know who that person is, but just promise me, you keep doing it every year. Keep applying, keep trying your best. But as you're trying your best, you're making a first class in botany. And if it takes you to finish botany before you now further into that field, still very fine. But just promise me you're going to finish with your first class. That's how I'm going to get to know that you really can cope when you do medicine and surgery. And wherever you're also applying, you also get to know that you can cope when you do very well. So that's that. Another person asked about skills and your course. Hope it's not going to affect. No, it won't. It's just a thing of mindset. Sometimes you can learn few of these skills even during your normal school lab session, because there's a reason why you are being taught some of these things during like your lab sessions. There's a reason why you are taught what you are taught. But the mindset that we usually have then is a mindset of completing a task. Let me just do this thing so that they will mark my report that I've done it. You don't get to retain them in your head. So usually when you are done, they will now ask you, why did you do this thing? You can't tell them why you did it. You don't know the principle behind it. So a shift of mindset is what I would call it. And a shift of mindset would help you, once you already understand the rudiment of what you are being taught in school. The way you think of it will be seen in the way you ask questions in class. And the lecturer will be like, okay, I think this guy is very, very interested in this thing. You ask questions beyond the box, which is not going to be, oh, let's just complete this lab session and then go out. That will also push you to getting closer and closer with the lecturer, and you get to see yourself, like I said, learn those things from them. And that person talked about publication before. Is it a prerequisite? No, it's not, but it's important. If you can't get it, fine. If you can't get a publication before that, fine. And I think I'm just going to talk about this part. Packaging is very key. Like, packaging is very key. Some of you have research that you've done, but you don't just know. You don't just know. Some of those lab sessions that you do, they are research. If you have a lab session and there was a goal in that lab session that you had, that is a research on its own. And who taught you that session? If the person who taught you that session is maybe Dr. Taiwo, it was in Dr. Taiwo's lab. I just learned that when I got here, that everything is just like packaging. That, oh, Dr. Taiwo was the one in charge of this lab that taught you this lab, and then this was the aim of the lab. This was what you guys wanted to achieve. You have it there that, oh, you've already done research, and under this research, this was the project you guys carried out to complete this thing. Whose lab? Under Dr. Taiwo's lab, and you are good to go. So sometimes you see some of these things online, you're like, oh, I don't have it, I don't have research experience. Well, who told you don't have research experience? You have writing experience, don't you have reports? You have reports to scientific writing, that's it. All those reports you align before you submit, that's actually scientific writing. And that's why you have been trained. Some students, they tell them to use Excel to do their report, and they're like shouting. I remember back then, we always shout, why are we using Excel? That's what we use over here. And even other bigger tools that you get to use. So they are training for what is happening here. So it's publication like a prerequisite, not a prerequisite, but if you can have it, it's going to be like the very fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Check
thank you
for
so
more
much, David.
questions.
Okay, I wanted to add, in addition to that publication, well, some might not take it compulsory to have publication, but I would advise you to have one. So for publication, you have to pay to publish an article in a journal. But there's actually an easy step. If you can't pay to submit your article to a journal, you can publish online. We have we have preprints. So preprints, we have Barrix. Barrix is for those in sciences, and we have the one for education. I can't remember. So you can publish online as preprints for free. So you are given a DOI, which is a particular number that is assigned to your publication only, and your name will be on it. So you can put that preprint on your CV. You get to start writing your CV because you will need it in future. So you need it on your CV. So if you can't publish in a journal, pay to publish in a journal, you can put it online on a preprint. Yeah. So, and you can put that preprint, the link on your CV.
Okay, so I can see a question here. Someone said, as a biochemistry 100 level student who wants to study nursing but wasn't given what do you advise if the student decides to go on with biochemistry? Can I still look for how to go about in my former desired career? Yeah, sure. That was what I said the other time. It's still the same kind of question. So even if, like, maybe for other people who might be having related question, or you want to study a particular course, you're giving another course. Yes, keep applying to that particular course you want to apply to, but it doesn't give you the, how will I put it? It doesn't give you the opportunity to now start doing bad in the current program you are doing. You must do very fine, because you don't know, you might not be given opportunity to start afresh in the new program that you want to do. It can happen anyway. I've seen some people transfer. Actually, I have a student over here. She's studying chemical engineering, and then she transferred from Unilag. Yeah, she's a Unilag student. Transferred from 200 level. She was in 200 level when she transferred here to come and complete her studies. She's in my school. So it happens that way, that you can start a program and then along the line you can complete it anywhere in the world. But imagine your results, your 100 level first semester, 200 level second semester, or first semester, they can't speak for you. Like, they are nothing to write home about. And the excuse you are having is you don't like the course, that's why you're not doing fine there. Now, they believe that if you want to study another course, how we get to know is how you do very well in the one you are doing at the moment. So all of your passion, put it in what you are doing very well, and convince anyone out there that, okay, you are fit to study the course you are pursuing. So that's going to be like the general advice for everyone who has similar question in that area. Let me see which other question again. So okay, I think I can see another one in line of chemical engineering, civil engineering. It's still the same thing. Anything you find interesting is still within engineering. I have a friend of mine that is in engineering. I think he's studying chemical. This guy knows a whole lot, like in pet and gas. Looks more like he reads their material, everything they are also studying. So he knows everything about it, goes extra mile. He's not doing exam. He's just learning to build it up himself. So it's still the same answer. Do very well in the program you are currently doing. What are some common mistakes undergraduates make while preparing for their career after university? How can we avoid them? Okay, I think I'll allow Mrs. Sao to answer that.
So what are some mistakes undergraduates make while preparing for a career after the university? And how can you avoid them? So number one mistake undergraduates make, we were saying skills since. So yes, number one is getting the skills. That is one very big mistake I made. Very big one. I only got the grades, but to be sincere, let's be sincere, we are humans there. It's not easy learning a new skill if you have no idea about it. It's not easy, but you still have to go for it. So number one mistake is undergraduates make is they don't have the skills. So when they are not looking for a job, they'll not, not like you be so overconfident that your grade can give you the job. Oh no, I had 5.0. I look for a job. Oh. I look for a job. Yes, and some people turn me down because I don't have the skills. So you have to like struggle to get the skills, the networking. All those people that are doing introverts, you will see. You know how you're hungry, you're looking for food. You have to like network. See, have a LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn, have a LinkedIn profile. I'm advising everyone to have a LinkedIn profile. Start following people you love to work with, people who you want to be their mentee and stuff like that. So networking. I know Nigerians sometimes will be like, oh, I'm so quiet, I don't want to voice out. In this place, if you are not bold, they'll use boom to sweep you out of the room. You have to be very bold, learn to speak out, network, ask questions. A lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions. If you don't know anything, ask questions. Oh. And by the time another one is by the time you want to graduate, you have to know what you want to major in. Okay. So for example, if you're in botany and you still have that passion for MBBS, my dear, you can combine the two together. You can combine the two together. If wanted a course and you were not giving, and they gave you another course similar to the one so similar to your passion, you can combine the two together. But you must get a skill that you can apply to both instances. Okay. What else? So one major secret I tell people is um for example, if you want to travel abroad for your masters and you don't know what to do for your final year projects, go to a particular school, look for a particular professor or professors in that faculty, see what they are doing, and then try to navigate it to the Nigerian system and do something similar. By the time you finish graduating and you have something similar as your project, you can't just go straight to that professor's department or that professor's schools and say, hey, this is what I work on, these are my skills, this is my resume, these are my grades. If you want to do West or you don't want to do West, or you want to write IELTS, I don't think they accept IELTS these days. Anyways, Nigerians can speak good English, so don't go and be tabooing and following our hand. So you can just tell them, hello, professor, these are my skills. This I did what I did for my project, which is very similar to what the person is doing. I would love to work with you, and stuff like that. And the person can that's a very good sign because what you did is similar to what that professor did. You can do that. That's the secret I tell everybody. Just do that for your project and then you are good to go. That's for people who want to maybe travel abroad for their masters or for their PhD. If you want to remain in Nigeria, maybe work in a company, you have to start looking at the company's mission or vision, what they do, and then do similar things while you are in school so that you learn the skills and then you have an idea of what's going on in the company so that when you get there, you will not be lost. Okay, so I think that's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think Sarah has said a whole lot. I'm just gonna add a few things as well. And one of it will be attitude. Attitude is very, very key. Some people are not. Some people are just permit me to say. Some people don't have home training, and that thing is it's outside skills. There are some people that what they just want to see is willingness to learn. Are you open to learning? And some people cannot be corrected. They're always right in their own eyes. I can remember back then when I was in the IVF clinic. There was this person who was training me. Then she was my supervisor. She was doing a particular procedure, and she was so fast with it, and she was so accurate. And I'm like in my head, I want to be like you. How do I get to learn these things? And she answered me. She said, just keep doing what you're doing. She said, what do I expect? That she has been doing this same thing every single day for the past 15 years. So you will definitely be better in what you do. There's that saying that inconsistency that is actually where competence lies. You understand? So you get to do very well in what you do over and over and over. So that attitude that I was mentioning is very, very key. Attitude towards learning. Don't, let me put it like this, respect people. It will take you far. When you see someone that you see that you want to learn from this person, no matter anything, if you're older than the person, that is not the time to start talking about age. In fact, when you get to travel abroad, just maybe for a month to come and do internship or just to come check what is happening, that is when your eyes should like be open, because you see people who are like well advanced and you're older than them. You literally need to come down to learn from them. If not, you just be looking, you see a lot of skills. We know the theory, but how do you apply it? They do a lot of application over here. So it also applies back there in Nigeria, wherever you find yourself. Have the right attitude towards people. So that one is one thing I would say. And then number two, Mr. also mentioned asking questions. Don't feel you are doing too much. It is because you don't know you are asking. And once you know, you'll be able to teach other people the same thing. So keep asking until you understand. So, okay. Another part again is being a student allows you to explore so many things. It gives you the like leverage of staying under that pitiful let me use the word maybe not too much expectation, yeah, meaning that when you get to any place and anyone is with you and they get to hear that you're a student and you don't have some skills, they can pity you and say like, oh, it's normal, she's still a student, he's still a student, but my friend, you graduate, you are now a graduate. That's where that term comes from. And you call yourself a graduate. That's where it comes from. That like there's so much expectation on you when you are done with school. You'll now be like, you're a graduate, you're a master's holder, you did not know how to do this thing. So now that you're a student, stay under the umbrella of being a student, use it as much as you can. When you enter somewhere, they say you don't know. So, I'm so sorry, I'm a student. You're still teaching us. They will explain to you, they will teach you. So learn as many things you want to learn now. So that when you are done, in fact, when you are done with school and they call you a graduate, even you'll be scared, you'll be shy. Because if they say you don't know something, you're like, oh, I'm a graduate. Before they tell you and you're a graduate, you tell yourself, I'm a graduate. So there's a whole lot that you need to learn. Another part again that I feel like is a mistake is that conferences I mentioned. Guys, it's very key. The caliber of people you get to see in conferences are not people you would see anywhere, especially like paid ones, even the ones that are not paid. You don't get to see people go for such thing. That conference I told you guys I went for, it was a little bit somehow because I didn't see any of my peers there. I mean, literally in Nigeria, I didn't see anybody who was an undergrad. I was the only undergrad that attended that event, and I paid for it. So it's somehow the kind of people I saw there. Imagine I said I met with a professor in plant genetics from Switzerland. He did the interview. If I wanted to go through the normal process of sending email, guys, I might not get a response for 1 year. You keep doing it. So some people that you see at these conferences, the conversation that you get to have with them might take you like 2 years on a norm, but you're already seeing them. You can ask your question right away. And another thing is once they give you their contacts, that you should reach out to them. They remember where they've met you. They remember the conversation you've had. So when you're reaching out to them and you mention, oh, my name is so from so conference, they remember you immediately. They remember the kind of conversation you guys have had, and you can take it up from there. So it's very, very key. Attend the conferences. Now imagine that you're a student, that you already know where you're going to. You already know what your vision is, and you see someone, just as Mr. Sayo talked about, in area of research. That's like a very fantastic one, because one of the things you want to do is like to start telling the professor. I can remember back then when I was applying, sending emails to some of these professors. I had to tailor what those professors are doing. I had to start to tailor what I've done, the areas of some research I've done to fit into what the professor is doing. But imagine you've done this ahead of time. You've gone to check some professor and you've seen that, oh, this is the area of research. You can just start to make sure that it's the same thing you are doing now. You want to choose a project topic that you want to work on. It is still in the same line. So yeah, let me just stop there. Let's check for more questions.
So we have someone asking about transfer. I don't know how transfer works in Unilag. But I also wanted to, that was my option when I got into Unilag. I wanted to study medicine and they gave me cell biology and genetics, to be sincere. When I had 5.0 my first year, I didn't want to switch anymore. I just went ahead with it, and then I got a good grade, and now I'm even majoring in diseases like obesity and breast cancer, which is very related to medicine. Even though the medicine are coming back to CBG to even learn. So, well, if you still want to transfer, then I guess you should ask is it your faculty advisor or those who are able to teach you or to tell you how the process works. But if you want to transfer, I think then someone who wants to transfer will have to start all over again from 200 level or something. I don't know how it
Yeah,
works though.
yeah, you
But
have
you
to
have to
start
think
from
very
200.
well. Yeah, to if you want to transfer. Yeah. Um, do you attend these conferences based on your course of study? Yeah, for me, yes, I did. If I still do. As far as it is related to my, I didn't attend okay, I attended conferences as a lecturer in lab. Of course, it's based on cell biology and genetics. So yes, we attended conferences. Even as far as is related to your research, yes, you attend conferences based on your course of study. Or if it's related to also your a field you're interested in, maybe like tech or bioinformatics, and maybe you are somewhere not related to those areas, yes, of course, you can still learn, you can still attend those conferences. Conference is more of meeting people and networking. So yes, you can still attend those conferences. Um,
Someone is asking about, I'm a chemistry student with interest in dermatology. Yeah, there's a relationship between chemistry and dermatology. And like I said, being a student, you can hide under that umbrella. Go to any industry, you see that they are fully based on dermatology. Just talk to them that, oh, you just want to learn. You're a chemistry student and you're interested in this area. You just want to learn. So you get to now see the area of your field, the area of chemistry that applies to what they are doing. So, but they can allow you being a student that has interest to probably just volunteer or tour their industry, see what they are doing, enjoy that. There's usually no harm in like touring company, even if it's not like your field, you can spark up interest there. I think they are back then, Idiaraba, they usually do what they call field trip, where you just go to different industries and then they take you around what is happening there. They take you, I'm sure different companies can do it. And this is a call to different departments that might be represented here. You know what is happening. One of the things you guys can organize can be field trips to industry, field trips to industry that are related to the courses you guys are doing. You can spread it out where you guys just go write letter to these companies and tell them that, oh, you guys are the student of so department. You'd like to come tour their industry if they would allow you. They always like stuff like that because it helps their industry, it helps their company, and it's also like a win-win for you guys to get into tour the companies, see what they are doing. They will explain to you. I can remember I had one back then. I think we went to UAC Food, we went to Coca-Cola back then, not in CVG. I'm just talking about when I was in another program. We went to Coca-Cola and then it was like very interesting. They just tour us around. We saw their HSC team, different things that they are doing. So it's one thing that I think different departments here can do, and just sell the vision to your course advisor, and it can be like an escort thing, and it can also be a class thing. It can be something like your class would organize that, oh, sir, tell your course advisor, I want to go on a field trip together. What do you think? Write a letter, and before you know, the department can even adopt it as part of the things you guys will be doing every year. So it's a good thing. Let's see more questions.
okay, someone is asking for those considering a master's degree, you recommend a thesis based or course based? I recommend thesis based though. Thesis based any day, anytime. Course based, you won't do
Mm.
thesis. If you are well, if you want to go into research, you have to go for thesis based. But if you don't want to go into research, maybe you just want to get the masters, then you can go for course based. But if you want to go into research and get funding, I think thesis based masters, they are there for you. Yeah. And then someone is asking, I am pure mathematics student and I already learned a major in software development since year two. I am presently transitioning to data science. What sort of conferences do you think I need to attend to meet people that can help enhance my career? Like I said, LinkedIn will help you. I'm not into software development, but I know people that are into software development that I follow them on LinkedIn and then they post conferences of this tech everywhere I go. I'm not into software development, but I see it on LinkedIn every time because I follow them. So if you want to have an idea about conferences you can attend as a software developer or as an what's that word? Transitioning. Or if you want to transition into software development, then of course LinkedIn will help you. Just follow people maybe in the country or outside the country who are software developers and attend conferences, and then yeah, they will post it, they will repost. And LinkedIn is type that if you like a post, it's like automatically post. You will see that someone like this thing. So yes, so of course LinkedIn will help you for that. Um Please, what is it's the mistake? What are those conferences? Or please, is it those conferences I don't understand. Diana, I don't understand your question, please. You can rephrase.
I think
What
he's
do you
saying
do to
the conferences, if they're organized in Unilag, all those conferences.
okay, most of them are not organized in lag. Most of them are not organized in lag. Some are organized in lag, depending on the organization. Some can be virtual. So if it's virtual, it even give you an upper end. You can attend those that virtual, of course, are done online, but some of them are not in Unilab, of course. Yeah. What do you do to get good grades, and what are your advices to students who are aiming for 5.0? What did I do to get good grades? I attended class. I read my books. One secret, let me tell you one secret. People on this platform will not get, and it's free of charge. Although people have to pay me to give them these secrets.
Guys, are you
So
listening?
the
Listen
secret I
very, open your
use to
ears
get
here.
my 5.0 is that I read every day. See, that's the secret I still use to get all my grades, like all my A plus. This place is A and A plus or A minus. Your 70 is C. 70 you really like is C here.
Yeah.
And your grade will die inside lagoon. If you have 70 in this place, forget about it. Your GPA is going to go down. So if you are targeting A plus is 90 something. Just know that at the back of your mind, that if you are coming here, your A is 90 something. Not you can't have 70 something and be jumping up and down. Your grade is going to die. So the secret I use and I'm still using is that I read every day. I took a course in immunology. They never taught us immunology in Unilag. I came here, took immunology. When I called someone who is in immunology, the person told me that course is extremely hard. I knew I didn't want to take it. My advisor told me I should take it, that I will use it in future. Yes. Then I took the course. The course is very hard, but I know that okay, all those hard courses, what I can do is I read that course every day. I go to class, and when I'm coming back, I read what I'm being taught in class. It's or if I don't have time that day to read what I'm being taught in class, maybe by the weekend, it must not enter the next week because it's just be piling up. So if I'm reading my whatever I'm taught in whatever I've been taught in class every day or during that week, by the time I want to write exam, I've read that article or that's my notes for like 3 times. See, this one is not magic. There's no magic from heaven that we fall and say, okay, you attended class. This is the answer. No, what everybody use, this is just is science. By the time you read something more than once, more than 2 times, it's going to stick. Just do that same things for your notes. Read every day. Read it. By the time you want to read for your exam, it's like revision because you've read it like 3, so it's just going to stick. There are some people that are very gifted, that they'll just go to class, they will see maybe a diagram or they will see they kind of have this visual memory. By the time you see it once, it does do like magic to stay there. those ones, you better leave them in their side. You that you know that you have to keep reading things, then keep reading it so that by the time you want to have exams, you could have read it like 3 times. Yeah, that's the secret I use though. Don't go and tell anybody outside. It's paid. Okay. And then what else? Okay, if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're a traditional worshiper, and pray to God too. Pray to God for favor. Someone asked me one day that this one that you have 5.0, are you sure you don't see the questions in the dream? No, I've never seen all my life. So I have 5.0 and I'm still having now. I'm still having A. I have never seen questions in my dream before. No. I know that yes, I believe in God. And of course, I depend on God to help me when I read or when I'm writing exam. Okay, I pray. Yes, I pray. Even if I not pray, my mom will also tell me to pray. My parents will also tell you to pray. So yes, I pray. But don't take God as a fool. You have to read. Yes, you have to read and then pray. Pray and read. Okay, so I think that's all. What else?
I've
That's
also
all.
learned that I just dropped, sorry, I just dropped for them in the comment section the grade. In fact, this one is not updated. It's actually 98 from 98 to 100. So I dropped it for them in the comments so they can see. Below 70 is F over here. So if you want to get
Yeah.
A plus, you
For below
must
70 is
actually have,
F. Okay.
yeah, below 70 is F. So
You see,
from
imagine, let's accept it is F.
70 to 73, C minus. That's literally how they grade us over here. So the 70 that you're happy with that you're getting A is so different here. So for you to have A plus, you must be. So she mentioned reading. Guys, there's no magic to it, as she said. One of the things I do is group reading. It's really helped me. Back then in Unilag, I have this group of 6 friends that we usually study together. And this thing kept me in check because there are some days I won't feel like reading because I just want to maybe relax or rest or do something else. But because I know that there's a group reading that day and we usually have like agenda for that day, that so person is teaching. Now imagine you are the one teaching your group members that day. You just have to study. So sometimes when I don't feel like reading, I have to study because I have to go for my group reading. And another way we do it, where we study effectively, is we know we are probably doing 7 courses. So we are 7, we come together, we share each courses, like for everyone that, you are the guru in this, you are the guru in that. So whatever is being taught, we are all coming together. When you explain a particular topic to us, maybe something that took like different classes for the lecturer to explain, someone is coming to explain it to you, simplified in 3 hours or 2 hours, you are now going back to read the same thing. There are 2 mechanisms here. You've heard from someone saying it and you understand because you've asked question. The other one is now you are reading it. Guess what? Some of your class members, your classmates, they can tell you to teach them again. You will teach them again. So what that thing she was saying about reading, my own came in form of like teaching. One thing I've read, I can teach it to like 5, 6 different people. And then before I know, that thing already stuck in my head. There was a time I taught chemistry straight for like organic chemistry in particular. I know it was giving a lot of people issue. That should be 203, yeah, CHM 203. So most of them have graduated now. So there was a time even from CBG, I had to like create like a question bank where we just sent it out for people to have an idea of how organic chemistry question would look like. So after that session, when I was done with my own chemistry, I still taught it in 300 level. But when I was in my own in 200, there was a way they twisted the question that it took the fact that I've read this thing over and over and over and I've taught it over and over to understand that there's a twisting here. So my fear was for the people I've taught that will they be able to think outside the box because they literally gave you a question where you just need to apply the knowledge. That was all. So only few people were able to do it. Some things will come, some knowledge will come because you've read and understood the principle. Some lecturers are not the type that will give you what is botany, what is this, what is that. They will not give you direct question. They want you to apply it and you have to understand the principle. Some people are very good at, they call it give and take. Exactly what is in your notes. Some people can give you back. So some lecturers are not that way. So you gotta like learn that. And she also mentioned prayer. Prayer is very key. Prayer is very, very, very key. Very key. Some people, yeah, I think if my set guys were here, they will tell you the number of times they used to see me in chapel. Some exam, they require prayer. Like you've literally read, and you finish some exam, you know that God is the only one that can do it. But just make sure you're always doing your best all the time. You're always studying all the time. Okay. It is very, very important. Do your own part and then now leave the rest for God. I can remember back then, I'm just gonna put this, just gonna add this. There was a session people wanted to have where they are having exams and then they organize exam prayers. And when they got to where they were meant to have the exam prayers, the pastor asked them, "When is your exam?" He said, "Tomorrow morning." What he told them during that session was, "Go and carry your book and read. If you don't read, you will fail." So he charged them all for 10 minutes. Everyone go and carry your book and read. So it's very important you do your own part and then God now helps you to crown your efforts. But when you don't have any effort, there's nothing God wants to crown for you. So it's very, very important as well. So I don't know if we still have more questions.
Okay. I just wanted to add this thing about overnight. I don't know whether you did overnight. Did you? Because for me, well, I did overnight though, to be sincere. But I won't advise it. Now, I'm getting old. No, I don't do overnight anymore if I have exams because, of course, like I said, I now know the secrets. It works for me, so I don't do overnight anymore. But if you're an undergrad, I need to do overnights. You can go ahead. I mean, I'm not against overnight though. I'm not, but don't oversleep and then you forget to get to your exam hall. So that's just the issue about overnight. Some people are not the type that when they do overnight, when you get to the exam, they can't even assimilate anything because of course they need good sleep. That is for them. Or people like us, we will say maybe not sleep away our sources. So you have to go and do overnight. But know what works for you, of course. I'm not against overnight. Um, is CBG a good course in Nigeria? David, you should answer that question. Is CBG, what did you do after your CBG?
Guys,
Because after my CBG, after NYSC, I had to dust my body. I went to look for a job, and then Unilag offered me a job. It was now as a graduate assistant. It was when I was doing a graduate assistantship. I applied to Canada, applied to US, and I got scholarship in both Canada and US. But I chose the one for US because it is US. So anyway, somebody should blame me or come for me, come to my DM. I'm telling you, why do you choose US over Canada? Please leave me alone with my destiny. Yeah, so is CBG a good course in Nigeria? CBG can, depending on your interest. Of course, we have so many people in CBG who are, no, we don't have a lot of people who are working with CBG. But if you want to work with CBG, of course, there's a job for you. You can do IVF. David, I think you went into IVF, right? Yeah, IVF companies, yeah. Yes, you can work with those doing IVF, or you can work with plant genetics, or you can just dust your quality and travel abroad. My dear, they are looking for those in CBG. They are looking for those in CBG abroad. So if you are the type that wants to travel abroad, yes, it's hot cake here. What of someone with is it what do you mean by what of microbiology? Or is it a different? Okay, what of microbiology? If it's concerning if microbiology is a good course in Nigeria. I don't know about microbiology, but yeah. God, I'm not thinking should I go back to school and learn microbiology because there's one thing I'm doing for my research, gut microbiome. It's about the bacteria in the guts. Learn microbiology last song. They'll be looking for you like hot cake. They'll be looking for you like hot suya. Microbiology. So please, if you know you have anything in sciences and you want to travel abroad, please come. We're looking for you guys, please. Yeah. Is marine science a good course in Nigeria? If you stop putting in Nigeria, please be thinking outside the box. Don't major in Nigeria. Maybe you finish your undergrad. If you look for how to travel abroad, you have to come to the US, to Canada, Netherlands, Australia, Europe, UK. Stop staying in Nigeria as if you want to stay in Nigeria. For those in botany, my research is part of botany because I'm looking at bioactive components in plants. My undergrad this thing was also on related to both things because I did malaria and a soursop plant. So it's kind of related to botany. So yes, botany is also too in this place. Okay.
Okay, so I think a lot of people are putting is this course a good course. So I'm just gonna say this quickly. So Mrs. Taiwo has said like a whole lot, and I'll crown it as well, letting you know that whatever course you are studying right now, you are going to be the main determinant of if that course is a good course or not. I study cell biology and genetics, and if you're asking me, is it a good course in Nigeria, I will tell you this. During my IT days, CWES, I was able to work in the IVF field. Then afterwards, immediately I graduated from school, I started working as a molecular scientist, like where my company was like, we're the frontliners for COVID, like doing COVID testing. We started doing a lot of genetic testing, and as time went on, we started like doing paternity testing. I was like part of the lead scientists in charge of the paternity testing, where we sent samples down to United States. We went through different trainings where we started interpreting paternity like results and all. So I was able to make good use of my course. That is why I can talk about this thing. Is it a good course in Nigeria? Yes, it's a good course in Nigeria and outside the country as well. In fact, over here, hot cake. In Nigeria as well, hot cake, but you need to position yourself. And I will say this, there's no course that you're studying right now that is not good. There's no bad course. But you need to position yourself. I have a friend of mine here that we're staying together in Unilag. I stay close to Unilag before I left Nigeria. I stay around Paco. So that was where I was staying during the COVID period. So but I still stayed there. So my friend was also staying there. My friend studied education chemistry. So he finished in Unilag 2015. Yep, 2015, and he started teaching since then. Guys, this guy studied education chemistry. So I want to add it to the box of what you guys are doing currently now. Guys, is education chemistry a good course? So I will answer that question. What is this guy doing now? He's currently in the United States teaching. And in a month, I can tell you boldly, in a month, he's collecting like $6,000. So calculate $6,000, change it to the current money you have right now. He's teaching directly from BSU, not my extra degrees of the. He's teaching right here. How did he do it? He was able to position himself rightly. So there's no course. He's an example of if they want to have any teacher conference in Unilag, they want to have conferences where they are talking about how to talk about your field. He's one of those people that they will call because he has excelled and still excelling in his field. So you also need to stand up, and even if they are saying, oh, there's no way in this field, there's nothing to do with this, so you are actually finding a way out because there are people out there. So if you've studied microbiology or you're studying microbiology, you're studying cell biology, you're studying botany, beautiful courses. See, don't let anyone convince you. I get to know if you love your course after. Back then in Nigeria, if you meet me and you talk about my program that I should talk about CBG to you, I can't finish talking with you and you not want to study cell biology. It's not possible. We'll finish talking and you want to drop your course. If you don't like your course, you should also be that kind of person that when people are done talking to you, they should want to study your course. When I'm done talking to you, you're studying botany, I should want to study botany. When I'm done talking to you, when you study microbiology, I should want to study microbiology. The passion should be there. That passion now helps you to look outside. You now get to see, oh, this person is working in social industry. What is he doing? Oh, he's studying microbiology. How did he get there? What did he do? What did he apply? Oh, he went through this. You see all of them in link. If you check someone's LinkedIn profile now, you see all their schools, all their programs, what they've studied. You see how they get to where they are at the moment. And trust me, guys, you can follow the same thing. I mean, you can literally copy some of those steps that, oh, this person took a certification in this. That was why he's able to work in this industry. That was why he's able to do this and that. Little things. I facilitated a training back in Nigeria, health safety and environment training. Most people, they don't like to hear anything. I'm sure Faculty of Science will probably organize it for you guys soon. But I facilitated that training back then in Nigeria through CBGSA. And a friend of mine, after school, there are some of my friends that I forced them. I literally forced them that you must do this course. Go and take this training. So they did it. They don't have any choice. They just have the certificates. And this girl, immediately after school, I was already working as a molecular scientist in Lekki. And then this girl traveled. She went to UK And then she sent me a message, like, I think after 5 months. And she was like, David, thank you so much. Do you know that certification is what made me got my current job? Health safety and environment. What happened? She studied cell biology and genetics. She went to apply in UK. She went to apply to a particular company with CBG, and they told her that, oh, at the moment there are no offers again. That they are closed for still receiving interview offers, or let me say, let's just say like accepting CVs rather, that they are closed. And she was about leaving. She took all of her documentations with her there. And she asked them that, oh, is there any position available? And they told her it's only safety officer. And she said she can do it. Oh, I did say health safety and environment. The next question they asked her was, do you have a certification to it? And she brought her HSC certificate. She showed them that she has a HSC. And that was how she got the current job she's doing at the moment. So sometimes you guys don't know the effect of the little things that you guys do. You don't know what extent it would take you to. Just a certification in a particular area. Another, I think for engineering students, still in line with HSC, just HSC certificates. Some of them, they have also the same testimony where they get to tell you that, oh, they went for an interview, and the next question they're asking them is, how many of you have health safety and environment training in engineering field? Because you guys will agree that you can't do anything in that field without having like safety knowledge. They believe that the accidents in that field, they are not the kind of accident that will give you warning. They are not near miss accidents that you just have scratch. The accident that can lead to death immediately. So they ensure that you must have that area where you just understand what is going on there. So they asked them, the interviewer came and asked them, how many of you here have health safety and environment certification? Only 2 people out of 10 people, and they told the remaining people to go home. They only interviewed the 2 people. So it's just about positioning yourself. Position yourself, whatever field you are. Check people who have gone ahead of you. What are they doing? How are they navigating it? Be it microbiology, be it botany. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Follow them closely. And you see yourself also do very fine in the field. Yeah, stop there.
Thank you so much, David. I think some people are asking us to drop our LinkedIn profile. Oh, I cannot go back to LinkedIn exactly. My name is Taiwo Bankole on LinkedIn. Once you see my face, you know I'm the one. So yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn. But don't be bombarding my DMs with messages. Me, I don't have time to answer messages. Times.
Okay.
So someone posted this. Okay.
Yeah, they've seen there are some sharp guys there. So it's still the same thing. Just type my name. I didn't want the video. See my face there. So yeah, it's not something. Just to wrap it up from my end. Sarah is also gonna like wrap up as well. But just to wrap up from my end, if there's anything I want you to take home from this webinar we've had, is guys, you need to start from now. Start positioning yourself to what you want. If you don't have a goal of what you want to do with your life, don't just see yourself going to school as going to school. See yourself having a vision that you want to accomplish. And there's always something about vision. You will surely get there. You will get to that place you've told yourself. If it is 5.0 that you've told yourself you want to get, I've always seen it that way, that most of the time, people who don't even have the 5.0, they end up having like 4.9, 4.8. You just see yourself around that first class boundary because you've really set the bar so high for yourself. So if there's anything I want you to take away from this webinar, is for you to start early. Start positioning yourself early. Don't just go to school because you want to just get the grades, because you just have to do it, because you just have to do your assignments. Talk to your lecturers, let them know you, attend conferences, learn skills that will help you in your field to get to where you want to get. You are not like every other person around you. All of you that have attended this webinar, I can tell you, you are not like every other person that might be around you, because there should be a change in orientation, a change in like mindset of how you continue to carry yourself going forward, that this is what you want for your life. There are a lot of people after school that are looking for a job, but you can actually get a job before you finish school. I got my job before I finished school. The day I was doing my defense, I felt I just wanted to rest. That was the day I didn't apply for the job, the molecular scientist job. I did not apply. That day I finished my defense, someone just told me to send my CV, and then before I know, I'm seeing the CV already gone to the HR, and then the HR called me. Like, oh, we are so sorry, we know you did not apply, but when will you be available for an interview? And then it was more like they've put you there, they've recommended you that, oh, this guy can do the job. You will now go there with the skills that you have, because you are the one using your hand to do yourself now. So I'm going to ask you one question now. When people around you can help you to get into the room of opportunity, will your skills be able to keep you there? Meaning that if you come to me and because of our relationship, you come to Mrs. Taiwo because of a relationship with her, she recommends you and be like, okay, so person, maybe your name is Desmond. Desmond can get this job done. Please accept him. And she gives you the opportunity. She has opened the door. But it is now left to you when they are done with the interview and then they are done with having you there to see if you can get the job done. So don't waste such opportunities. When you have it networking, like we said, and you're great, they will open the door for you. They will recommend you, but your skills personally will not help you to keep it. So guys, stay relaxed and feel free to reach out to me like anytime through LinkedIn. I'll try my best to reply to you guys as much as I can. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you, David. Is there anything I want to even add? I don't think there's anything. Someone is asking, what are the necessary exams to provide smooth scholarship opportunities in the US? Did I even write any? I wrote IELTS and TOEFL, but I didn't use any. Did you use anyone? Because I didn't. Okay, I didn't use any. So if you want to get scholarships, you have to start applying even before you finish your final year. Before you defend your final year, you have to start getting all your documents ready, all your recommendation letters. You have to go and meet all your professors. Be nice to your professors that will give you good recommendation letters. Hey, I'm telling you in advance. So be nice to professors so that they'll give you good recommendation letter that you have to tell them in advance. That's sorry, or ma, you have to give me a recommendation letter for my school. And if you know you're in engineering or physics or mathematics that require GRE, go and start getting ready for the GRE exams. Me, I don't like GRE. Oh. Right from time, I don't like it. So I never took it because, of course, it wasn't also required for my own PhD application. But something like IELTS, TOEFL, English exams. So what is GRE? What's the full meaning of GRE again? I can't even remember. Graduates, what? I can't remember the full meaning of GRE now. But it's very popular. Just go to Google, type GRE. That's one common name. What else? Your SOP. You need your SOP. That's your statement of purpose. You need your personal statements also. There are some essays that school require you to write. So many essays about your interests, about your career goals, your professional goals, and something and so on and so forth like that. And then of course to top it off, you need money to apply for schools. Well, you can apply for application fee waivers. And some school might say, okay, attend when you attend one of their orientation, they can waive the application fee for you. So yes, you can apply for application fee waivers. Yes, but in addition, target schools that have funding, target schools that can give you scholarship, because except your father is a politician, you need the funding. Even when you are a student, you need the funding. You can even attend boot camps. There are so many boot camps that will teach you how to apply for scholarship. There's Education USA. Education USA, go and follow them on Facebook or be a member. They will teach you how to get scholarships in what they call in US. You can also use the same idea to get other scholarships in Canada and other countries as well. So yes, someone does post. Yes, thank you very much, David. So GRE is graduate record examination. GRE. So I think that's all. Where's the hosto? We are done.
To add to what
Thank
um
you very
so sorry, I added to add to what Mrs. Bankole said, because I have the privilege to be working as a graduate assistant in the admissions office. We deal with admissions most of the time. One of the things I can tell you is I've seen a lot. I've seen recommendations with 2 lines. 2 lines, like they don't know you. So what do they want to write? Just 2 lines. this student went to the University of Lagos and graduated from the Department of Microbiology, Cell Biology, full stop, bam, that's it, and they'll put their name. It can be that bad because they don't know you. That's an example of the things we see. And some people, don't go and offend your lecturer, and then you now still have the mind to go and meet them to write you recommendation. You know that you've done bad. Some people, they will just do you bad full time. I've also seen a recommendation letter where you would see the professor talk about the fact that, oh, this student, like, let me just call it wickedness. So I'm just trying to say, know your professors very well and then get to interact with them, let them write about you. If they know you, they'll be able to write about you. Don't let any professor give you 2 lines because they don't know you. Okay, so I just want to add that.
I agree with you, David. I so much agree with you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. David and Mrs. Bankole Taiwo. I really appreciate you coming to talk to us today. And I believe we all that attended have learned 1, 2, 3 things from this career expo. So in the absence of any other thing, just want to thank
network is punctuating. Do you have any of the
I thank everyone that was able to attend also. So thank you all for attending. If you didn't attend, this career expo would not happen. So thank you for also attending. Then also to the excos of the faculty, from the president to the GenSec to every other person, we say thank you. And we hope that the next career expo, which will be coming up next semester, we hope we would all be able to make it most likely physical. So thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it and have a good night rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. David, how about you? All the
all
best
right,
in your research. What are you
thank
working on?
Thank you. I'm working currently with Yale research, cancer research in genetics. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm doing my research through the Yale campus. So there's a professor there, but it's a mix of like the clinic. So I'm trying to like do my internship there and then also mix it with like research as well. So
All right. All the best,
yeah,
though. All the
yeah.
best.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
I will enter your DM soon.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye. Yeah, take care, guys.
Bye bye, everyone.